What if I told you that the wealthiest people aren't avoiding debt? They're using it to grow massive empires. Curious? Well, it's not just about borrowing to survive, it's about borrowing to thrive. In today's video, we'll explore how the rich use debt not just to survive but to build multi-million-dollar empires, and how you can do it too. Stick around, because by the end, you will have a completely new perspective on debt and how it can work in your favor. Let's get started. The truth about debt. Debt often gets a bad reputation. People associate it with being broke or struggling financially. In reality, when used correctly, it's one of the most powerful tools for creating wealth. Think about it. Over 70% of the American economy is driven by consumer spending. Yet, most people are spending money they don't have on things they don't need, all to impress people they don't like. They max out their credit cards on impulse buys and end up paying 22% interest on items that were never truly necessary. But the rich understand something different about debt. They leverage it to make more money. Yes, debt can be risky if used recklessly, but when you use it intelligently, it becomes a wealth-building tool. And don't worry, I'll walk you through how you can do this without falling into the trap of bad debt. Debt as a wealth-building tool. Let's start with the basics. When you leverage debt, you're using a small portion of your own money to control a much larger portion of someone else's. Think of it as an amplifier for your wealth-building efforts. Instead of paying for everything outright, you use debt to control valuable assets, and those assets work for you. This isn't just about multiplying returns. It's about leveraging the power of other people's money to secure your future. Take real estate, for example. The rich use debt to buy properties, but the properties pay for the debt. The rent you collect covers the mortgage, and the appreciation of the property increases your wealth over time. The key here is that the asset itself does the work to pay down the debt, leaving you with an appreciating asset without having to do all the heavy lifting. How inflation helps pay down debt. Let's talk about inflation, because it's a friend of the savvy borrower. We're experiencing high inflation, and it's actually doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you if you're using debt wisely. As inflation increases, your income tends to rise. Salaries, commissions, bonuses, all of it gets a boost. But here's the thing. While your income grows, your debt payments stay the same. The dollars you borrowed are now worth less over time, making it easier to manage your payments. This is why companies like Apple and Microsoft, who are worth billions, leverage debt to grow their empires. They understand that inflation works in their favor when they borrow money to invest in appreciating assets. This is something the wealthiest individuals have known for years, and it's time you understood it too. 3 key assets the wealthy invest in with debt. So, where should you use debt to grow your wealth? There are 3 key assets the wealthy focus on. Investing in yourself. The first step to creating wealth is investing in yourself. This could mean getting an education, hiring a mentor, or learning new skills. When you invest in your personal growth, you increase your ability to acquire, manage, and sell assets. This knowledge is your foundation, and it allows you to leverage debt more effectively. Investing in your business. Next, invest in your business. Whether it's upgrading your equipment, expanding your operations, or increasing your marketing efforts, using debt to grow your business can yield high returns. You control your business, and by using debt to make smart business moves, you can see your profits multiply quickly. Investing in real estate. Finally, real estate is the ultimate wealth-building asset. It's where the average person has the best chance to leverage debt and create significant wealth. Using debt to buy properties allows you to control them, while the rental income pays off the debt and the property appreciates over time. This can turn small investments into multi-million-dollar portfolios. Real-world example of using debt for wealth. Let's dive into a simple example to see how leveraging debt works in real life. Imagine you find a property worth $100,000, but you can negotiate a price of $80,000. You put down 20%, $16,000, and borrow the remaining $64,000 from bank. With a 5% interest rate on a 30-year loan, your monthly payment is around $344. Now, instead of paying for the house outright, you control it with just a small down payment. Next, you find a tenant who pays $1,200 per month in rent. This rent covers your mortgage payment, and over time, the property appreciates in value. After 3 years, With a conservative estimate of 3% annual appreciation, the property is now worth $110,000. Add to that the equity built through mortgage payments, and you've turned your $16,000 investment into $49,000 in equity. The key here is that you didn't fully own the property when you bought it, but through leveraging debt, you controlled it, generated income from it, and watched it appreciate, growing your wealth in the process. The power of snowballing debt. What happens next? You take that $49,000 in equity and use it to buy more properties. Let's say you buy 3 more properties with the same $16,000 down payment strategy, leveraging debt in the same way. In just 3 years, you could own 13 properties, each building equity and generating rental income. You've gone from a $16,000 initial investment to a portfolio worth millions, and you've done it by using debt smartly. It might seem slow at first, but the wealth starts to snowball quickly. The more debt you use strategically, the faster your wealth grows. The key is to not let fear stop you. If you use debt correctly, it can significantly accelerate your wealth-building journey. As you continue to build more properties, each one increases your equity and generates more cash flow, pushing you closer to financial freedom and greater wealth. Risks and safeguards when using debt. Of course, using debt isn't without risks. If you make mistakes, like over-leveraging or not properly managing your investments, your financial situation can spiral. But the key to success is education. With the right knowledge and a solid strategy, you can mitigate these risks. Always be sure that the debt you're taking on is manageable and that the assets you acquire can cover the cost of that debt, plus provide additional income. Starting with a basic real estate education is essential. This will help you understand the market, how to find good deals, how to manage your properties, and how to use debt responsibly. Additionally, always ensure that the assets you're acquiring will generate enough income to cover the debt payments and more. Never invest in something that doesn't make financial sense. By using debt strategically and knowing the risks, you can minimize your exposure to loss and increase your chances of success. When to use debt and when to avoid it. So, when should you use debt? As long as you're borrowing a depreciating asset, like currency, to buy an appreciating asset, like real estate or a profitable business, you're on the right track. However, if you're using debt to buy something that doesn't produce income, like a luxury car or an expensive vacation, that's when debt becomes dangerous. Always make sure that the debt you take on is for an asset that will grow in value and generate income over time. That's the key to building wealth with debt. The more you use it correctly, the faster your wealth grows. By sticking to this principle, you ensure that your use of debt is always working for you, not against you. So, now you know how the wealthy use debt to build multi-million-dollar empires. It's not about avoiding debt. It's about using it strategically to multiply your returns. Remember, the rich understand that the more debt they use, the more wealth they can create. The trick is knowing how to use it right. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Got any questions or thoughts? Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think about leveraging debt to build wealth. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.